Okay, let's talk about our goals. We're all swimming in this world of vision boards and productivity hacks and setting smart goals. But what if we're asking the wrong question? What if the most important thing isn't what your goal is, but why you're chasing it in the first place?
Seriously, just take a second and think about that. Are the things you're working so hard for coming from a place of genuine, inner passion? Or are they maybe a reaction to something? A reaction to pain or fear or some old story you're trying to escape? That's the heart of what we're going to unpack today.
So yeah, we're going way beyond the usual advice here. This isn't about how to cram more into your day or achieve things faster. This is about understanding the hidden fuel source behind your ambition, so you can stop running on fumes and start creating from a place that feels true to you.
And to help us do that, we're going to lean on the really powerful insights of author Joseph Nguyen. See, he argues that pretty much all our goals fall into one of two big categories. And figuring out which path you're on, well, that can change absolutely everything.
And here they are side by side. It's such a clear distinction, right? On one side, you've got despair goals. These are all about running from something, fear, pain, you name it. And on the other, you have motivation goals. These are about running towards something, like joy or curiosity. Now, from the outside, they could look exactly the same, but on the inside, the feeling is a world apart.
Let's dig a little deeper into these despair goals. The key thing to get is that they aren't really chosen. They're more like reactions. They come from a place of I have to do this, not I get to do this. And sure, you might achieve some amazing things, but that success can feel so hollow because the whole thing was built on a foundation of pain, not passion.
And wow, this quote just nails that feeling, doesn't it? I'll get fit and rich to make them regret it. You can just feel the heartbreak or the sense of not being good enough behind that. The fuel there is revenge. And revenge, well, it's a type of fuel that burns out fast and leaves you feeling empty, even when you win.
But then you have motivation goals, and these are the complete opposite. They come from a place that just feels authentic. You do them because they feel like a natural part of who you are. The energy is almost effortless, you feel in flow, and the real joy is in the journey itself, not just waiting for the finish line.
This is what it's all about. It's that feeling of unconditional creation. It's the thing you do for 60 years, even if nobody ever clapped for you. Think back to when you were a kid, that pure, creative energy that didn't need a reason or a reward. The doing was the whole point. That's the vibe.
Okay, so this is where it gets personal. How can you actually tell which kind of goal you're chasing? Well, we're going to walk through 5 pretty powerful questions to help you get some clarity. So grab a goal you're working on and just be really honest with yourself as we go through these.
First up, is your goal a weapon or is it a song? Is this whole thing about fighting some external battle against someone else? Or is it about sharing a truth that's already inside of you?
All right, question 2 really gets to the core of it. I mean, really think about this. If you stripped away all the external validation, no likes, no praise, no recognition at all, would that fire inside you still be burning for this?
Now let's think about the timing, the origin story of this goal. Was it born in a moment of peace and clarity, or did it pop up right after something painful happened, like a quick fix to try and numb that wound?
Okay, let's check in with your body. When you're actually working on this goal, what's the feeling you have? Is it that sense of flow, where you feel peaceful and connected? Or is it more of a grind, that restless, anxious hustle energy?
And for our last question, we're going to go way back. Does this goal connect to something you just genuinely loved doing as a kid? Before the world came along and told you what success was supposed to look like.
So, how'd you do? Let's break it down. As you can see here, if you found yourself saying yes to those first and third questions, the ones about proving people wrong or reacting to pain, your goal is probably leaning toward being despair-driven. But if you said yes to questions 2, 4, and 5, the ones about intrinsic joy, you're likely on a motivation-driven path. And hey, this isn't about judging yourself, it's just a mirror.
So what happens when you do find a goal that truly comes from your core? The best part is, you don't need all the hype and the hustle culture to make it happen. Instead, there's a much more simple, powerful way to move forward.
This whole framework just flips the script. First, you stop focusing on the outcome and instead define the feeling you want. That becomes your compass. Then you just fall in love with the daily action, the process itself, not some reward way off in the future. You learn to trust where your own energy is pulling you, not what's trendy. And finally, you let go of needing anyone else to approve. Your only job is to create.
Okay, but before we go any further, we have to add some real-world nuance here. Because let's be honest, human motivation is complicated. Life is messy, and it's almost never a simple case of one thing or the other. It's usually a lot more layered than that.
So here are 3 really important perspectives to keep in mind. First, despair isn't always bad. It can actually be a huge catalyst for change. Second, most of our goals are a mix of both energies, and that's totally okay. And third, even the purest motivation can turn into a source of suffering if we get too attached.
I mean, think about it. J.K. Rowling famously started writing Harry Potter when she was in a really dark place. Steve Jobs got fired from Apple and then went on to create Pixar. Pain can absolutely be the spark that starts the whole journey. The real work, the real growth, is learning how to shift that fire from just surviving to soulfully expressing over time.
And let's get real for a second. Almost no goal is 100% pure. You might want to be a doctor to help people, but also kind of enjoy the respect that comes with it. And that's fine. The point isn't to be a saint, it's just to be aware of what's driving you the most, so you can steer yourself back toward what feels true before you totally burn out.
You know, this isn't some new age idea either. If you look at ancient wisdom, both the Stoics and Buddhist teachers tell us the same thing. Getting attached to any outcome, even a really positive one, is a recipe for suffering. The moment you start paining for joy, but then become desperate for praise, you've lost the path. The real win is finding peace in the process itself.
So when you boil it all down, this whole framework isn't about labeling your goals as good or bad. It's really just an invitation to look inward, to understand your own patterns, and to gently realign yourself when you feel ready. Because growth isn't about trying to avoid pain, it's about learning how to transform that pain into your power. And that leaves us with one final big question to carry with you. Sometime today, just find a quiet moment and honestly ask yourself, what is truly driving me right now? Because when you start moving with that kind of awareness, that's when pain can become purpose, and your goals can finally truly become a reflection of who you really are.